Hey, today was supposed to be my answering all my weight loss questions the folks have been sending in. But I've been having these conversations in the last 12 hours that tells me that I need to be saying something else. So, as my mother loves to say, this is my testimony. And I wrote my thoughts down because that's how much I didn't want to forget anything. I felt like I wanted to come and talk about when you want to see something change in your life, some of the things you might need to do to take control of your own life and to see those changes. And obviously I'm not an expert. I'm only speaking from my own experience this year. I'm calling these 10 things to radical transformation. And I hope they're helpful and take them for what you need them for. What I learned about this year that overall, it was about making new choices. We make choices every single day. But I think when you get your mind right, when you get ready to do something, it's and you want to see a particular change in your life, I think it's about making new choices. And so that's sort of the umbrella that all of these 10 tips, I guess, fall under. First step, I think in sequential order, the first step is first tell the truth, right? Tell the truth to yourself about where your life is, where you wish it was, what choices you've made that you're where you are, maybe the people you attracted into your life or the relationships you stayed in or the job that you stayed in, whatever you're the most unhappy about or that you want to see change in, make the time to tell yourself the truth. And you can take it. Trust me, you can take it. And this is where you make an honest assessment of what's going on. I feel like if you don't do this first step, that everything else is going to be built on a faulty foundation. Number 2, know that there's going to be discomfort and pain during this process of radical transformation. You know, we've spent a lot of our lives keeping things buried or setting stuff aside or making choices for ourselves that don't best feed us. And so when you start to undo that and pull away those scabs and move things and all that stuff, there's going to be discomfort for you and for other people. So keep that in mind as well. Other people are going to be impacted by this radical transformation that you're going to go through. And so know that, right? You're going to be uncomfortable, but you will not die. Trust me, you will not die, but you're going to get through it because you're going to be committed to doing this, doing your life a different way. Number 3, construct a circle of support, right? And be discerning here, because not everybody who's your buddy in the end really cares how your life plays itself out. Sometimes the relationships you have in your life are self-serving and they serve a particular purpose, and when you change the direction of your life, those people may not or cannot remain in your life, right? So be discerning, be careful who those support your support network is. I have to say my support network right now is so eclectic. It's maybe people I wouldn't have picked in the beginning, but they've slowly and surely come into my life. And there's some people who left my life that I was shocked left, and I had to make peace with that as well. So be discerning, be careful, but have a support network, because you're going to need people in those dark days, in those middle days when there's nobody cheering you on, you cannot see the finish line, that you're going to need to call somebody up or cry in somebody's lap. It can start really small. It doesn't have to be massive. You know, it can be 3 or 4 people that you can trust and depend on, and they each might have a special gift or skill that you can lean on that thing as you need it. Number 4, and this actually was it turned out to be one of my favorite things to do during my body project, but also through my own sort of radical transformation, was to do something towards my goal every single day. Are you planning a trip to Europe? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be in a new relationship? Do you want to get out of a relationship? Do you want to fix up your house like I'm planning to do in 2012? Do one thing, a minimum of one thing towards your goal every single day, because it builds on itself, right? And write in your date book, or write yourself a post-it note before you go to bed and stick it somewhere like clean out such and such, go to the gym, drink a glass of water, stop calling such and such, right? Do one thing that supports the goal that you're ultimately trying to reach. I promise you, it builds on itself. You will see a change. Number 5, forgive, right? First, start with forgiving yourself, right? Because I think once you do that honest assessment, that first step of first tell the truth, you'll discover that a lot of things that you feel are wrong in your life or not where you want to be, you had a steady hand in making sure it happened to you. So sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself, but forgive yourself, right? And then if there are other people who've offended, you feel like you need to do the work around that, forgive those, and it doesn't happen radically overnight. Maybe for some people it does. It didn't happen for me. It was something I had to work on daily and be reminded and I read about forgiveness. I talked to other people. Forgiveness is going to be huge. Somebody told me this and I didn't believe it at the time, but I've come to really embrace this concept. Forgiveness frees you. It's not about the other person or the other persons, right? It's about the forgiveness of self first, and then it just frees you, and then you can do the work to forgive other people. Number 6, also one of my favorite steps. Throw something away. I know it may not have anything to do with weight loss. It may have nothing to do with your trip to Europe. It may not have anything to do with forgiving that person. But if you walk through your house, or your apartment, or your condo, and you find that there's this pile of things that you haven't touched in a year, chances are whatever is in there, you don't need it. Or take the time to go through it and find what you need and then throw it away, right? Because I think sometimes our physical manifestation of what we see is always or often internally how we're feeling cluttered and bogged down by our stuff. And so anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, I walk through my house and I throw something away. In spiritual terms, I think it opens up the sphere for something new to come into your life. So look at it that way. Like in throwing this away or releasing this or giving this away, something else can come into your life. Number 7. Okay, so I hope I explained this, but so number 7 is about having open hands. And this is a Buddhist teaching. I don't know if it's directly a Buddhist teaching, but I heard a Zen person talking about this, about having open hands. That often we are sort of the author of our own suffering, because we have all these expectations and we have all these things that we want, and we want people to be a certain way, and when those things don't happen, we hold on. We hold on for dear life. Like, but I want it. We become this like little 3-year-old, right? And the concept of open hands is this thing happened or didn't happen. I had expectations around it and I wish it happened a different way, but I'm going to release it and have open hands. I won't hold on to it, because in the holding on, I perpetuate the suffering and the unhappiness and disappointment over and over again in my clutch fist. So I hope I explained that well. But there's some days when I'm having expectations or I'm frustrated or I want something else. I physically open my hands in front of me so I can see that I'm releasing, because in the releasing something else comes. In the releasing something else comes. In the releasing something else comes. So I'm practicing that every day. Let it go, Michelle, release it. That's not for you, right? I don't want to be the author of my own suffering.